What's good, YouTube? It's Joey, and today we're going to start our off-season outlooks. This is going to be a series of breaking down the free agency, what's going on with the team as of the off-season, and yeah, let's get into it. So today we're going to be doing the NFC West. We're going to be doing division by division. So first, let's look at the Arizona Cardinals. First, we got them agreeing to AJ Green on a one-year deal with the base value of $6 million. So if we look at the Arizona Cardinals cap space right now, they're at about $2 million in cap space. So they are around like what they need to be at. There is not really that many available free agents as of right now. Like all of the top free agents are basically um, all gone. I don't know how we do that, but so anyways, AJ Green, 1 year, $6 million deal. That wasn't their first signing, but that was one of their signings. And this signing, I think it made some sense. The Cardinals kind of needed another wide receiver to complement DeAndre Hopkins. But AJ Green wasn't really the type of receiver we all thought and wanted for the Arizona Cardinals. Um, we kind of needed a route running receiver, a guy that would do a better job getting open over the middle. AJ Green, I think, with a fresh start in Arizona, wasn't really putting his full effort at Cincinnati. Cincinnati really downed him. He wasn't really going up for the jump balls because he was on that franchise tag and wanted to preserve his body and stay healthy for when he hit free agency. So now he's not the number one. The Cardinals have a lot of receivers: D Hop, now at Green, Kirk, Isabella. They can spread all these guys around, can work against the lesser corners, and they can have some success if Kingsbury can improve the play calling. But I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's a low risk deal, so I'd give it like a B minus grade. Daryl Daniels, he's kind of a backup tight end. We still definitely need tight end after letting Dan Arnold go, who showed potential. So small move there. Beacham, 2 year, $4 million deal. We secure right tackle. Um, I mean, the tackle class in free agency was thin. There was the top guys, and then it really dropped down from there. And I think Kelvin Beacham, uh, he played all of the games last year, 16 games. Was okay, wasn't really that great, wasn't really bad either. I think Kyler Murray, with his abilities, um, just to have some stable tackles, I think is a good thing. Low risk, I'd give it a B plus signing. Brian Winters, 1 year deal. Um, another low risk signing. We still don't know who's going to start at right guard. It could be Josh Jones, could be Winters, but yeah, it could also be that Garcia guy. They're gonna have to battle it out, but we're gonna have a solid guard at least. Um, he was okay in his career, wasn't really all that great, but it's a low risk deal. So yeah. Rodney Hudson though, I would give the Max Garcia or these two. I'm gonna group into one. I'd give it a B minus grade. I mean, not really the best guards on the market. But I would definitely say getting a position of need at a low cost is always a good thing. So, depth. Josh Jones could start there. One of these two guys could start there. Who knows? But Ronnie Hudson, I love this deal. He was going to get released though. So giving up a third round pick is definitely hurts a little bit. But we did get a seventh round pick in exchange. He is one of the best centers in football. Could argue he's the best up there with Corey Linsley, Jason Kelsey, those guys. Really good in pass protection, rarely gives up a sack, can open lanes in the run game. I love Rodney Hudson. Kyler Murray struggled with that interior pressure, but you have Justin Pugh, Ronnie Hudson helping out in the interior, takes pressure of whoever's starting at right guard. I think uh, the offensive line starts with the center, can help all those other guys become better. Yeah, he's a veteran, but he's still playing at a really high level. Marcus Golden. Oh, I would grade the Ronnie Hudson trade an A minus, because he was going to get released. But if you do let him hit the open market, there's probably going to be some trades, or no, not trades, teams offering a lot of money for him. So I'd actually bump that up to an A just because of that. Um, Marcus Golden, 2 year, 9 million. I like this deal. I mean, I like it less after seeing the contract Reddick got. Like Hassan Reddick, I think, what did he get? Reddick got 1 year with the max value of 8 million, 6 million guaranteed. So that makes this signing look a lot worse, but this was before the Reddick signing. Panthers fleeced Reddick. But yeah, this was before. I'd give it an A minus. It's a low. It's not really that much money, as you can see. The Cardinals still have cap space here. Yeah, they still have like 2 million. They should be okay. Um, Lots of ways to clear cap, but we're back here. 2 year, $9 million deal. Golden isn't one of the best pass rushers out there, uh, but he is definitely solid. Can get his pressures in. Having a guy like J.J. Watt, now a healthy Chandler Jones on the outside, Golden can be good. He had like 8 sacks between the Giants and Cardinals last year, I think. Where is Marcus Golden? Right here. We can. The cool thing about this is we can check out guys' stats. Um, Here, statistics. Yes. 2020 was last year. 16 games played. Uh, 4.5 sacks. Never mind, but had a forced fumble, INT. So there's definitely room to grow, but again, secondary pass rusher. Had a nice year with the Giants previously. Um, he's a solid guy. Not one of the top pass rusher, but low deal. I don't think we overpaid. I think he can get better. Marcus Golden, I like that. Then I would give it an A minus. Well, before the Hassan Reddick deal and after the Hassan Reddick deal, considering how little he got, I'd give it like a B minus, because we could have got Reddick back for a little bit cheaper somehow. I don't know how the Panthers did that, but this is J.J. Watt. I actually like this signing. If the Cardinals can have success this year, J.J. Watt was the most double team pass rusher last year. Out of anyone in the NFL, this guy was double teamed the most. Um, So not only does he help the pass rush, he also stops the run, and we needed a guy in the interior. That was a struggle, a weakness last year. So he helps. He's going to be starting out one of the defensive ends probably, and Golden and Jones are probably going to be the outside linebackers. So he's gonna help get that interior pressure and also help stop the run, be a nice presence in there. So didn't really affect that our cap space that much. So does have the injury concern. Did play a full year last year. So that front boasting Marcus Golden, Jordan Phillips, Chandler Jones, JJ Watt, I think could cause problems for a lot of teams in this league. Tanner Vahalo, depth at linebacker. Um, a little chunk of money, but it's depth. Robert Alford, you see, we still need to get corner in the draft. We released him and then re-signed him to a very cheap deal, so we saved cap space on that. I don't hate it. I don't love it because Robert Alford can't stay on the field. I'd assume if J.C. Horn falls to us in the draft, we better take him. And if he's not there, we should trade back for some more value and take another corner. Because right now it would be Robert Alford, Malcolm Butler, and you slide Byron Murphy in the slot. That would be our starting corners. Uh, Robert Alford had that pick six in the Super Bowl for the Falcons against Tom Brady to make the score 21-3. But yeah, he's just needs to stay healthy. Um, he's he's not really a starting caliber corner, but he can. I'd imagine he's not going to be the starter. That's what we'll have to see in the draft. But Malcolm Butler signing 1 year worth up to $6 million. I actually like this move more than other people do. Malcolm Butler had a bounce back year last year. Um, he had like a team high 14 pass deflections, and a team tying 14 INT or no 4 INTs. Sorry. Um, he can still ball hawk the ball. He can still stay with receivers, make plays. I think, in my opinion, he is an upgrade over Patrick Peterson. Not by much. I'm not saying he's a top 10 corner or anything, but I still think he's solid. He does give up some plays. He does give up some touchdowns, but he can still play at a good level. And I think with that pass rush, the Cardinals were fourth in sacks. They lose Reddick, but they get Watt. So, and they're gonna have a healthy Chandler Jones. So I don't see them regressing. May get better. Who knows? But yeah, Cardinals still definitely need to get corner. But Malcolm Butler, if he can play like he did last year, stay healthy, I think this secondary, along with Buda Baker, Jalen Thompson, if they can get a J.C. Horn, I think this defense could be looking really scary. And if they also play Isaiah Simmons and he lives up to the potential, I think this Cardinals team, you need to look out for them. But they added a lot of veterans. Andy Lee returning 1 year deal. You need a punter. Good grade. If I were to grade the Malcolm Butler signing, I'd give it a B plus to an A minus. If he does play like he did last year, not a lot of money, doesn't really affect the cap space. We made a lot of moves, got a lot of veterans to help this team win now. So it's kind of Super Bowl or bust in these next 1 to 2 years, which is kind of crazy for an 8-8 team. But they were competitive in a lot of their games. If Kyler Murray stays healthy, and if Cliff Kingsbury can get better with the play calling, I think they could have done a lot better and could have been a threat in the playoffs. But a lot of veterans to get better. I think the Cardinals should be in the playoff mix this year. Uh, Maybe a sneaky dark horse. I'm not saying they're a Super Bowl favorite, but I am saying they are a dark horse. So the Los Angeles Rams were cap strapped, but they get Matthew Stafford in a trade um, for Jared Goff. So the Los Angeles Rams keep on giving up first round picks. They gave up a third round pick this year and a first round pick in 2022 and 2023. Oh yeah, key losses for the Cardinals: Kenyon Drake, Hassan Reddick, two big losses. But you know, anyways, so this trade, was the first major move. I think it happened back end of January. Um, I like this move for the Rams, considering they're in win now mode. For their future, this team is gonna look ugly. They had lot of negative cap space. They've restructured a lot of contracts. Um, like it's gonna get uglier before it gets prettier after this stacked team. There's still negative $5 million in cap space this year. Um, and in 2022, I don't know what's going on, but it's not updating. But anyways, they get Matthew Stafford, a major upgrade at the quarterback position. So I like this. If they can get a Super Bowl out of this roster, definitely this move is definitely worth it for the Rams. But if they fail, man, this is going to look bad. But they were a quarterback away. Matthew Stafford was held back by the Detroit Lions. He's got a really strong arm, top arm in the league. Can make any throw you want him to. Not the most athletic guy, but definitely can get the job done. Um, Definitely, he just needs to stay healthy. Had a lot of injury problems in Detroit. That offensive line has to hold up for Matthew Stafford, but he's got a good defense and Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp around him. They also signed Deshaun Jackson to a 1 year, $4.5 million, with the max value of $6.25 million with incentives. I mean, uh, if we were to give the Matthew Stafford thing a grade, if they win the Super Bowl, I'd give it an A plus. But if they lose the Super Bowl or don't win a Super Bowl, and this short window they do have, I'd give it like a C, C minus. Grade drops. But this Deshaun Jackson deal, I think it's a little bit of an overpay. I know this isn't that much money, but it's a guy who's very injury prone, who's 34 years old, can't stay on the field at all. Makes like one big play a year for these past couple of years. I don't know how I feel about this one. They definitely need speed on that offense, a deep threat. Deshaun Jackson can still do that. He can still make some plays, but he's definitely not what he used to be. Maybe lost some speed, but it's the injury concern. I don't think it really changes his team that much. And then they just pay Leonard Floyd. He had to bounce back a year last year, but now Brandon Staley is no longer their defensive coordinator. Um, but yeah, next to Aaron Donald, should keep the pass rush intact somewhat. They lose Brockers and Ibukam, which are their two key losses. Oh, John Johnson too. And they lose their defensive coordinator. So don't be surprised if this defense regresses next year. Um, I think they should regress next year because new defense. They also lost Troy Hill too. A lot of guys on that defense they lost. So new defensive coordinator. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey though should keep that defense good, and Leonard Floyd can get after the quarterback. Had like uh, 10. What was his stats last year? Leonard Floyd is right here. Statistics. He had 10 and a half sacks, 55 sackles, 20. So yeah, he had a really good year last year. Can get after the quarterback for the Rams. So it's a lot of money. I'd give it a C, C plus. If he does prove he's like a top 10 pass rusher, then I guess I'd up that a lot. But you know, signs that extension, keeps that front seven okay, but the linebackers, they need linebacker help. And also losing Ibukam and Brockers hurts among that front. So Rams should be a good one of the top teams in the NFC, but there are things that that do concern me about them. they are a Super Bowl or bust team because they are going in all now, similar to the Cardinals, but the Cardinals kind of have more of a window. They're trying to go all in on Murray's rookie contract, but the Rams are trading their next first round picks and spending this money trying to go in that all in now. So it's going to be interesting. Moving on to the 49ers. They sign fullback Kyle Juszczyk to a 5-year, $27 million. I mean, Juszczyk's the best center in football, but makes him the highest paid fullback in NFL history. Not sure I really love the move. I'd give it a C plus because fullback, you're still going to be a really good offense. I get Kyle Juszczyk is a threat in the passing game, but like, do you really need to throw that much money at a fullback? He can block, he can get some yards, but like, it's a fullback. Like, come on, man. But they use their fullbacks, so I'm kind of giving it a middle of the pack grade. Mohamed Sanu, 1-year deal. Is there any? Um, I don't think there's any details. Mohamed Sanu, I don't think does that much for the 49ers. I really don't think he does. I give it a C minus, D plus, kind of not range. You saw him in New England. He was not good. He's not fast. He can't really get that much separation. He's I believe he's also old. Um, yeah, he's 31. So definitely, I mean, it looks like they didn't really give him that much money, but depth, I don't think he can be a guy that really makes an impact on the 49ers. You have to bank on Ayuk and Debo Samuel to stay healthy, along with Kittle. They lose Bourne, which is a big loss. Oops, sorry guys. Uh, that was weird. I was hearing something. I'm like, what? But anyways, Mohamed Sanu. I'm not really all for it. Trent Sherfield is more of a special team guy. I guess that works. He's a good special teamer. So, all right, signing there. Not really gonna make or break the team. Trent Williams, though, this one's massive. 6-year, $138.06 million. That's a lot of cash, if you ask me. 32.4 million dollars in year one. So he is going to get a lot of money for this year. And then 3 years, 60.75 million to start, with a 3-year 77.31 million option the 49ers can exercise by 2023. And then that means he's mostly guaranteed. So, I mean, Trent Williams is like 32 years old. This is going to keep him till he's 38 unless they get the out or whatever and move on. I think it is a free team-friendly deal. I think the 49ers know what they're doing. Definitely had to lock up that left tackle position. 49ers fans just have to hope he can stay healthy and lock down that left side. Definitely a lot of money. I don't know how much of a cap hit he is. Let's go to the 49ers real quick. Let's see. Trent Williams is only an $8 million cap hit right now, but that is definitely going to go up quite a bit. In 2022, he's going to have a $14 million, and then it rises up to $26 million cap hit, which is a lot of money. And then at 2024, they can opt out and only have $12 million in dead cap. So they'll be paying him $12 million not to be on the roster. but then if they exercise that option, they basically have to keep him there. So that's the year to watch for Trent Williams for the 49ers fans. Um, I'm not too crazy about this deal, but they had to do it. They had to pay him that much. He is old, has to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, plays at that top two best left tackle in football level, I'd give it a high grade. Right now, I'm going to give it a B. A B. I think that's fair. But Trent Williams, one of the best left tackles in football. I think Bakhtiari still is the best, but Trent Williams definitely up there. Just had to get that $10,000 a year higher than Bakhtiari just to say he's the highest paid. But Alex Mack, 1 year, $5.5 million. He's not the player he once was, but it is a 1 year. 5.5 million isn't that much. Yeah, he's 35. So, I mean, not too crazy about it, but I think it does make sense. I think it's an okay move. Get out of my face. I think it is an okay move. Helps out that interior. The 49ers love their interior, big run blockers. So if Alex Mack can stay healthy, play at a good level, I like this deal. But I give it a B, B minus, B plus, because it's about the value. I think Alex Mack still a good, okay center, definitely dropping. Used to be one of the best centers, but it's 1 year. I guess it's a good move. Two guys I don't know about who aren't getting paid that much. Um, yeah, good for them. Good depth, I guess. 49ers definitely need depth. If this team can stay healthy, they're going to be dangerous and a threat to win the NFC and challenge the Bucks. They got Ibukam from the Rams. That's right. They get a 2 year, $12 million deal. That has the maximum of a $13.5 million deal. So let's go to Samson Ibukam and take a little look at his stats real quick. He is like a $3 million cap hit for this year. But free agency is over for now. Well, almost over. There's still some guys, but want to look at statistics. Oh, there's a fines and thing there. Had 4.5 sacks, 31 tackles, 13 assisted. I don't know what that is, but was a rotational guy. I think he's a good rotational guy. I think it's a little of an overpay for a rotational guy. But I mean, I'd give it like a B, B minus, somewhere in that range. Emmanuel Mosley, 2 years, 10.1 million. Had to do it. It's an okay amount of money. I think maybe could have got him a little bit cheaper, but yeah, he's a solid corner. Definitely a position of need for them. They're losing Sherman, so yeah. B plus. I think it's a good move. Jason Verrett, 1 year, 5.5 million base, reaches the Pro Bowl, 6.5. So I think this is a good deal. I'll give it an A minus. It really depends on if he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, he has the potential to be one of the better corners in the league. To be good at his side. Verrett has the talent. He just needs to stay on the field. And it can be a good number one, solid number two, kind of a good outside corner. I still think they need one in the draft. And they could be taking J.C. Horn, which makes me worry. Oh, no. Hold on. Disregard what I just said. They traded up to 3. That's right. They're taking their franchise QB. Never mind. Just ignore that. But definitely still need another corner. But yes, this move is good. I'll give it an A minus. But Kawan Williams resigns 1 year, 2.3 million. Good deal. B plus, A minus. Good for their depth. They signed both of their safeties, or no, they just signed a starting safety and another one. So good deals. 49ers, if they can stay healthy, and if Justin Fields or whoever they draft at 3 does have a good rookie year, which is very likely, this team just needs to stay healthy, and they could be an NFC contender. Um, Last but not least, the Seahawks. Chris Carson, 2-year, $14.625 million. I mean, it's just not where they need to throw their money at right now. Running back is the least valuable position in football. I know Chris Carson is a really good player, but he does have that injury concern. Let's go to the Seahawks. The Seahawks have $5 million in cap, but it's not like they're gonna get anyone else. Chris Carson, 2-year, $14.625 million. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense for why they would bring him back, because Seattle, Pete Carroll's philosophy is run first and build the pass off of that. And Chris Carson is a great power back, can get a lot of good stuff done, has good vision, acceleration, which is very important for a running back. But it's like you're paying a guy who you don't really know if he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy and keep on producing, I think it's a good deal. I give it a B, B minus. Again, they could have used this money elsewhere on an offensive lineman or someone uh, to help out this team in a more position of need. Again, Chris Carson is a good player, so don't hate it. Just needs to stay healthy. Gerald Everett, 1 year, worth up to $6 million if he hits those incentives. Can be worth up to $7 million. Again, okay move, B plus range. I think Gerald Everett's a solid tight end. Definitely needed another guy there. Greg Olson they had, who's really old, kind of over the hill. They had Hollister, who showed some flashes, but isn't really your starting tight end. You know, so Everett, a target for Russell Wilson, should be able to do some good stuff in that offense. Low risk deal. I like it. They trade for Gabe Jackson for a 5th round pick. I'd give this one. I give this one an A minus. I think Gabe Jackson is definitely an upgrade at guard. You really need to help Russell Wilson on that O line, and they don't have any draft capital. So yeah, they really needed this one. Help ease the interior pressure a little bit. Um, so yeah, it's 5th round pick isn't that much unless you can develop the guy you take there and he becomes a star. But yeah, didn't have to really give up that much. They get an upgrade. Always good when you can do that. They re-signed Ethan Posich, 1 year, $3 million, low risk. So I like it. B range. That's a position in need. So they have a lot of guard depth now. This is a tackle, so yeah, I'd give the Seahawks a B on these moves, B plus. But overall, they were disappointing, not getting a good difference maker on that O line, considering they didn't really have the draft capital to get one of the better guys. They release Carlos Dunlap and then they bring him back. I think he's a lower cap hit than what he originally was. So definitely good job for the Seahawks for that. Where is Dunlap anyways? Carlos. Jeez, is Carlos Dunlap not even? I don't even know where he went, but Maybe he's not on there, but sorry, I keep switching to that tab. Yeah, Carlos Dunlap, like this move. Really helped their pass rush. Him and Jamal Adams really helped the guys around him. They couldn't get to the quarterback outside of Jamal Adams. Then they trade for Dunlap. Helps him out a lot. So I give it an A minus. It's a good deal of money, but Dunlap definitely a good pass rusher. Um, saw it last year. Benson Mayowa, um, max value of 8.8 million, 4.6 million guaranteed in year one. Yeah, this is a good move. Low risk, higher reward. They got depth on that D line and should be good there. It's just a secondary I kind of worry about a little bit. But yeah, this is a good move for Seattle. 3 years, 16.5 million. Kerry Hyder. I don't really like this move. He's not a premier D tackle. They have Jeremy Reed, so depth, but it is a lot of money. For a depth guy, kind of rotation guy. But give it a C range. Al Woods, 1 year, $3 million. B, A, some good. Cheap deal, depth, always good when you can do that. Puna Ford, 3 million, worth up to 14. B, yeah, they're retaining that guy. And then you have a Kello Witherspoon, 1 year, $4 million. I give it a B plus. Losing Shaquille Griffin definitely hurts. They are downgrading at the corner position, but Witherspoon's a solid guy. Not really an ideal number one shutdown corner to have. He's not that. The cornerback position is pretty weak in Seattle, so they have a lot of weaknesses. They have strengths, but I just don't think Pete Carroll's really the guy in Seattle. His offensive scheme's outdated. Defensive scheme was outdated, but then they somehow did something. Like their offense and their defense needs to be good at the same time. They can't have let Russ cook MVP insane year in the first half, and then in the second half they have great defense but stinky offense. They just need to stay together. Key losses: Shaquille Griffin was their major loss here. Didn't really do much to get better outside of Gabe Jackson, Gerald Everett, brought back Dunlap Carson. Big moves for them. Yeah, the Seahawks have a ways to go to be a Super Bowl team. They really need a lot of guys to step up, and they're in a tough division, so they don't have that many draft picks. I think they only have like 3, and they're not really high draft picks. I think they have like a second round, like a fourth round, and like a seventh round, something like that. They don't really have that much draft capital, so they gotta nail that second round pick, and they gotta hope that this team can gel together and play well at the same time. But yeah, that was basically the main additions in free agency, where every team stands. Rams, again, 49ers could be really 2 really good teams. 49ers need to stay healthy, have a complete roster. Rams lost some guys, as I already talked about, on the defense. They need to do well this year and win a Super Bowl in the near future, or that their moves have been all for nothing. Cardinals trying to maximize Kyler Murray's window. So yeah, this division has 4 good teams. It's going to be a bloodbath, but that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to do this for all of the divisions. Offseason outlook, kind of recapping free agency as we move into the draft. More NFL content coming. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.